Hey everyone, Leo with Dreaming Tree, and thank you for joining me for the assembly of our Summit Celebration card. Now this card you can see here in front of me, well, the original caption is for Father's Day, but we did include this element as a print to cut for Happy Birthday. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, actually, we're gonna build the card first. Okay, so this is like 2 layers. We're gonna take this piece here, and we're gonna glue this piece down onto this. Just want to make sure that we're gonna start off by just getting it lined up down at the bottom here. So let's do that. Begin applying your glue around the base first. We've got some little areas here where the caption is cut out. Just want to be careful not to put giant blobs of glue in these areas here. And if you want to avoid those little areas around the letters, that's fine, because we can always use our little painting method, which if you're new to Dreaming Tree, I will explain how that works. Let's get the bottom left and bottom right corners lined up, and then that way the caption just falls into place. Okay, there we go. Perfect. And you don't need to glue every single little inch of this down. Okay, so now that we've got that part glued down, we can take this and flip this up and get the rest of the glue on this little strip, this little thin area here, very gently. Nice and easy. Don't need a lot of glue on this either. And the cool part is it just should fall right into place, exactly where it needs to go, because we got that bottom part already lined up. Okay, so there's that. And we're going to grab this next layer here, and that's going to go right on top. Beautiful little frame cut out of there. And we can do the same thing with this. Okay, so let's just focus on the bottom third of this. Get that anchored in place. Whoops. It's a little flimsy, so just be careful. And like I mentioned, you don't need to worry about getting glue on every inch of this. Just make sure that you got enough coverage for it to stay put. Work that thin little perimeter. And maybe a little bit there for good measure. That's good enough. And up here, there's no glue up there. So just going to drop this in nice and easy. Try to get that bottom corner aligned nicely, as well as this one. And the rest of it, like I say, whoa, not good. That's because I'm gluing this onto glitter. That's bound to happen. It's okay. Just make sure that we just get it somewhat anchored. If you're not using glitter like I am, you'll probably have an easier time with this. But glitter can be a pain, but it looks so nice. Makes me think of past relationships. Okay. I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper here so that I can find any little areas where maybe there's just was not enough glue, and clean that up. Make sure everything's nice and secure. And it probably would have been fine if I was a little more patient. Okay, just getting that bottom part lined up. Now that it's anchored, I can throw a little extra glue on this, and rather than raising this up completely, you just paint a little bit of glue onto the back of this and press it down into place. Because it's anchored, it should just naturally fall into where it needs to go. Okay, so we're going to grab our card base here, okay, and we're going to grab one of these panels. Now, one of these has little markers on it. It doesn't matter which one you pick at this point. Either one will work. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue this down. We need to glue this down because we need to gotta put the sun in there, and we need a place for it to sit. Now, you'll notice that you have a series of little markers here in the corners. We're going to use those as our guides for placement of this piece. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin applying our glue. Okay. Got that matched up with the little score marks there. Perfect. Okay, I can go ahead and go to the front here. We're going to grab our sun feature and apply our glue, and it's going to go in there like a little puzzle. Pop that right in there. Doesn't have to be perfect. We have some layers covering that up anyway, so. Okay, next, I need to find this blue piece, okay? And you can see how that goes onto the card. And what I'm going to do is we're going to anchor this at the bottom first. Since there's so much little detail up at the top there, there's no way we're going to get all this down in one fell swoop. I would much rather just be able to move this around up here without worrying about getting glue all over the place. Use the little markers there as well to help you with positioning of this piece. And then press that down at the bottom where we have our glue. And then what we can do is take this and peel it back. And I'm going to just put glue on just the larger areas here. Just little dots, little strips, little streaks. You don't need a lot. Maybe a few on the sun rays here. We can always go in and using our little painting method, we can just drop that right into place. Since it's already anchored on the bottom, it will naturally fall into place. Okay, and then this is where, using that little painting method that I talk about often, I'm going to cut a thinner strip, apply some glue, use the tip of my nozzle to kind of spread it out nice and thin, and then I'll just tuck it under these little areas where I maybe didn't get enough glue, especially on the larger areas. And then we can go over here under these sun rays. You don't need a lot of glue in those areas. And just press that down. Okay. All right, and I'm going to do a little more there. Just in these little areas here. So you can tuck it under and then kind of push down on the rays to help them get a little bit of that glue off that strip. And just hold that down. And there we go, okay? Now we're going to grab some of these little pieces and do some little puzzling. This one's going to go right in there. I just inked the top and the bottom of this one. Don't have to go crazy. Okay, there we go. We'll pop that in there. Perfect, like a little puzzle. Okay, now this guy here, the thicker side is going to be on the right side. That's going to go right on top of that blue layer that we just put down, and it's going to be flush with the top of it. Okay. There we go. All right, and then we're going to grab this little piece. Just a few more to go, and then we've got one more layer that goes on top of this layer, and then the front of the card is pretty much done. Okay, so this should fit in there perfectly. just like that. Beautiful. Okay, let's grab this little guy. It's going to go right in there. And we have this little thing that looks kind of like a little hockey stick. Just throw a few dots on there. If you get too much, just bat it with your finger. Or dab it with your finger. Get some of that excess glue off. There we go. And finally, this little piece that kind of looks like a little eyelash. There's a thicker end and a thinner end. The thinner end is going to go down at the bottom on the right-hand side. And with this, we just need a few dots of glue. Pop that right in. There we go. All right, perfect. So that layer is in place. Now we have this white layer. Actually, this is like a white pearlescent, very pretty paper. And we're going to do the same thing with this, where we're just going to anchor it at the bottom and then paint it back to the top so that we don't make a huge mess everywhere. And that'll help us with alignment. Okay, so take a look at the sun rays and make sure that that's all nice and lined up. If you have a little bit of that layer behind it kind of popping through, it's not the end of the world. It actually almost kind of enhances it a little bit. And, you know, machines are not perfect. Give that a little scooch down, and there we go. Hopefully that glue didn't dry too much. What a lovely card. Beautiful and dimensional. Okay, let's peel this back now. Very gently. And let's go ahead and just like we did before, let's get some glue around the perimeter. Whoops, careful. Just focus on the larger areas. And then we can always add a little extra glue in any place that seems like it's maybe sticking up too much. Okay, and that should just fall into place. Just like that. Very carefully. A lot of little details on this card. And I can tell that the area that I avoided is just needs a little extra love. No big deal. We'll grab our scrap, apply some glue there, thin it out, and get that in there. There we go. And then I have that, the main circle where the sun is just kind of needs a little love in there. We'll tuck that under and then just push down on it. Get some glue on there. And then go ahead and give it a press. Beautiful. Look at that. All right, cool. So we're not going to, this layer that we already put together is going to go on here at the end. And I'm going to use some foam squares to raise that up a little bit. But I don't want to do that just yet because we need to put the wallet in there first because we're going to be kind of smushing it a little bit. Okay. So here is the wallet. And you've got a valley fold here, 2 mountain folds, same thing here. And then there's actually, before we do the tab, these little pieces here that are scored right here at that line, we need to fold these in on themselves. This just kind of reinforces the wallet. Okay, do the same thing here. Just like that. Press that down into place. Okay. And then I'm going to take this small tab and apply some glue. There we go. And pop that down. And close it up. There we go. We're going to keep this flat for now because we need to apply some panels onto this. We can smush it down flat. So it's basically, we found this really cool leather pattern paper, and we're going to take, I've got this, well, this is leather and this is like another color of leather. I'm going to glue this on top of the black leather. Okay, and you can see how it's rounded here. That's going to go, whoops, good thing I'm going to be covering that up. That's going to be flush at the bottom there. And on the sides. There we go. Do the same thing with the other one. Okay. Oops. And pop that into place. Now there's some stitching on here. I'm just going to leave the stitching alone. If you wanted to, you could technically have your machine write with a pen onto that stitching. That's up to you. Okay, and then we're going to apply this onto this main structure here. And when you do that, just make sure that you keep it flush with the bottom there. And one side's going to be flush on the flat side. The round side's going to stick out a little bit, and that's by design. We want it like that. Go ahead and apply your glue. Okay. Make sure it's flush on the bottom, and make sure it doesn't go past the bottom there, because we need that to be accessible when we go to pop this into the actual card itself. Okay, and then you'll notice that on this side here, there's a series of little markers, and that's for the little metal little detail that we're going to add to it. So do the same thing on the other side. Go ahead and apply your glue. Just like that. Make sure it's flush on all sides, and we want, it helps to kind of push this tab down so you can feel and make sure that it's flush there. Press that down. Okay, there we go. And back to this side that contains that little embellishment. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to glue down the orange piece first, the one with the one hole. Okay, and it's going to go like that. And then we'll grab this silver piece, and it's going to go right on top of that one. Okay. There we go. And then finally, we'll take this whole thing, and right here, where you have your little markers, that's where that's going to go. Press that down. Make sure it's level. That looks great. And there it is. All right, so let's wrap this thing up. Let's open up the card, and we need this little piece. Again, there's markers here and here. You can see them better from the back side, as usual. That's okay. Pop that into place. It should be pretty symmetrical, especially these little sections that kind of extend out a little bit. They should be right in line with each other. All right, so not quite the last step, but almost. Okay, so when we open this up, we want the round part facing us. So here's what we're going to do. Let's extend this tab out. We're going to apply glue to this tab here. Make sure you folded it there. And you can go a little bit heavier on the glue here if you'd like. Okay, be facing me, the round part. And the little edge here, I'm going to match that up with this little edge, that little part of that white panel that pops out. And just line that up nice and flat. Press down all the way. There we go. We're adding our little wallet. Now we can get this tab out and apply our glue to this tab. Super simple little contraption here. And try to get that glue up to, as far as you can, up into that area there. Okay, and it's as simple as closing it. And then just pressing down right where we had our glue applied. Very, very simple. And I would just be patient with that. Just let that glue set. In the meantime, while it's doing its thing, we'll grab this piece. And it's time to get some foam squares out. Around the perimeter here. Now it's already a few layers thick, but one thing that I've learned over the years is with something like this, it doesn't hurt to throw a few extra foam squares in between existing foam squares, just because. Okay, let's put one here. It's kind of tucked away a little bit. And then what I like to do mentally in my head is find the halfway point between these two, which is pretty easy. You can kind of, that's one intuitive thing that we all understand how to do, is find the middle of something. It doesn't have to be exact, but as long as it's close. This will just give it that really nice look. And then for the rest of this, I'm going to grab some larger ones. It's just less peeling. These are the same height, the same thickness, so they'll all work nicely. We'll put one here. Let's get one here and here. Let's peel this off, pop it on the front, and then all that's left to do is put our envelope together, which is rather simple. This is the only card where I did the envelope last. I was totally crazy this time around. But this card, great for, oh, by the way, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but we have an additional print then cut panel for the front that says happy birthday. If you want to turn this into a birthday card. This is great for your outdoorsman or just in general. It's a nice card. All right, so match that up with the perimeter. And then, of course, most importantly, we got to make sure that the Father's Day part is lined up nicely as well. And there it is. Beautiful. And voila, there is your gift card holder wallet. Okay, so that's the card. Now let's take a look at the envelope. Have that here. And what we're going to start with, all right, we're going to start with this piece here. And this piece is going to go in like this, so that little bit of blue is showing through the edge there. And what that means is we're going to need to apply our glue to this section here, like so. And don't worry about that thin little strip. I don't want to get glue all over the place. I'm going to leave that alone for now. And what we're going to do is just paint some glue on it. So take this panel and fold this up. You can actually fold it in a little bit too. Push that up against the score mark and center it nicely. And then bring it down and push down. Okay, there we go. All right. So that little loose area there, I'll grab a scrap piece of paper, throw a little glue on it, and just kind of dab. I'm going to dab the corners here with a little bit of glue and just pop that into place. Excuse me. Okay, let's get this corner. All right, and then let's just get a little more glue on there and get the little areas in between here that don't have any glue. Press that down. That's what's cool about this. You can literally just tuck it under, paint some glue, push it down. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because I'm working with foils here and I don't want to blemish them because they really show glue more so than like a cardstock would. There we go. Okay. All right, now I have this little orange strip here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little dot of glue just on the corners. And then we'll get the rest of it glued down. Just pop it right in there. Should fit like a little puzzle. Just like that. So we have it anchored at those 3 points. I'll grab my scrap. And let's get the tail ends here of each side pressed into place. Just like that. And there we go. All right, we have a beautiful little mountain scene here. Just a nice little motif to put on the main flap of the envelope. All these little beautiful details. And there's 2 little markers here, one here and the other one right here to help you with the placement of this piece. There we go. Fold that over, bring these in. Apply your glue along this inner edge all the way down. Same thing here. All the way down. And go ahead and close it. And there we go. Okay. Beautiful coordinating envelope with our beautiful card. Opens up to reveal a gift card wallet. You could put a note in there, whatever you want to do. So that's going to do it for our Summit Celebration card. I think it's gorgeous. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please visit us on our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button while you're there. Hit the little bell so you get notifications anytime we release a new project, whether it be paid or free. And if you make this or anything from our new bundle, I'd love to see it. And so would over 50,000 other dreamers that inspire us daily. So head over to your Facebook, do a search for Dreaming Tree Official. That's our official group on Facebook. That's where you'll find me and the rest of the Dreaming Tree staff and amazing crafters. So hope you had a blast, and as always, look forward to crafting with you again. Hey, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, check out some of our other videos and please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, don't forget to visit our site and check out our free SVG section where you'll find over 140 free SVG files complete with assembly tutorials. I'll see you in the craft room.